Mabuhay pageant fans! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hey Adam G. For today's content, let's finally talk about the Binibining Pilipinas fashion show and national costume competition which took place in New Frontier Theater last weekend. I must say guys, Binibini gave us a wonderful spectacle as I can't help but marvel at the stunning display of the national costumes right before our eyes. Whereas we were only treated to a dazzling wide array of ternos in recent years, now I feel like Binibini opened the floodgates of heaven for all our designers to express their passion and creativity in coming out with one of the best collections we have seen on the Binibining Pilipinas stage. Sa totoo lang guys, it was truly worth the wait at the end of the program. Yun nga lang, save for the audio which kind of hampered the entire proceedings, everything turned out smoothly. And around 4 p.m., the show finally began, and the opening number was really delightful as the candidates danced to Tanging Binibini, the new theme song of Binibining Pilipinas starting this year. Sa totoo lang guys, nakaka-LSS talaga yung kanta, yung Bini Bini, Bini Bini. I mean, it's very catchy and upbeat, and it's one song that really still plays in your head even after you have gone out of the theater. Then, it became more fun as we saw the candidates did so many outfit changes to promote the pageant's various sponsors. Nandiyan yung Jag Jeans, Sheen, and the Yan Shampoo, while being treated to some entertaining intermission numbers in between. And by 5:30 p.m., Stacey Gabriel finally comes out to open this most awaited segment of the competition. So ito na guys, which candidates really dazzled and impressed me the most? Here are my top 16 picks. At number 15 is Nika May Bernardo's national costume. I am absolutely mesmerized by Nika Bernardo's garden costume, which was inspired by the Halamanan festival celebrated in her hometown. I feel the flowers adorning all over her costume complemented the beauty of her face, and the way she carried the arch-like structure composed of various plants and flowers was so effortless that you wouldn't feel the massive weight that she was carrying. I thought the designer, Sir Marvin Garcia, really thought this costume for her very well in terms of idea and execution, as Nika appeared more feminine and delicate more than ever in this competition. At number 14 is Anne Valencia's Filipiniana national costume. I am absolutely digging this modern interpretation of the Filipiniana costume made by Sir Louis Pangilinan for Ana Valencia, as it enhanced more of Ana Valencia's elegance and refinement as a contestant here. I know the costume may be simple and not necessarily have the wow stage factor and extravagance generated by the costumes from the other contestants, but it still stood out for me because of its simplicity and the craftsmanship the designer employed for this costume. Anna just looks so dainty and quite graceful with those fan accessory and stunning headdress. However, I still think it Anna has to work on her walk and her fluidity on stage. But apart from that, everything was just so heavenly. And that ice blue color was so cool to the eyes. It made Anna more doll-like on stage, which likened me to the color of Kylie's winning gown for Miss International last 2016. So yeah, I feel this was planned, and it really worked, as I feel Anna just made herself more international worthy right in front of our eyes. At number 13 is Patricia Antan's rodeo-inspired costume. I super love this rodeo-inspired national costume from her province's cattle and livestock industry. It was a very cool concept, and the craftsmanship was really stunning. I love the intricate beadwork on the pants, and the backdrop was really spot on, and it really gave us that feels that we were really in a rodeo drive. So it was just fun looking at her performing. Looking at the whole costume, you can see that her designer, Kennedy Jan Gasper, didn't scrimp on the budget. Halatang pinagkagastusan. Nakita nyo, napansin nyo. However, much as I marvel the craftsmanship of the designer, the execution was far from perfect. I feel The cowl headdress covered the beauty of Patricia's face, which should have been highlighted, as I feel Patricia has one of the most stunning faces in this year's competition. Maybe I was just floored with Graciela Liman's tikbalang costume before Patricia came out, given both were mimicking a horse, so it really paled in comparison in terms of execution. So yeah, she could have presented it better, pero kung ganda lang naman ng costume ang pag-uusapan, maganda talaga ang costume na ito ni Patricia Antan. And now we go to my 12th spot, and I'm giving it to Ande Mesa's Filipiniana costume. Who here loves Anne de Mesa's red velvet Filipiniana costume for Binibining Pilipinas this year? It was just memorable in my book. It was a classic done right, sa totoo lang. Anna was so elegant while wearing it. And if you notice, the whole outfit was accentuated with crystals, embroidery, and then a golden cross at the back to elevate the whole look. But apparently, pero yung pala there is a meaning behind it, as it depicted the image of the Holy Cross of her hometown. Now, if you ask me about this costume, was it creative? No. But was it something so beautifully done? 100% yes. If this costume was shown internationally, I would have been proud. Sometimes kasi a costume doesn't have to be creative to stand out, and Anne stood out here for all the right reasons. So good job to her and her designer, Sir Odelen Simpao. And now we go to my 11th spot, and I'm giving it to the Gigantes costume of Herlene Budol. This woman really knows how to entertain us, and her personality was just so evident in this gigantic Gigantes costume-inspired festival. And it worked for me, sa totoo lang. Although the concept may be something we have seen from Honey Cartasano's costume last year, as both of them are from Angono Rizal, you can see that Herlene still made it her own and gave it her own personal touch. The hand paintings we have seen from her cape is a homage to her province's art capital Tag pala, while the huge Catriona inspiration at the back is apparently in reference to Catriona Grace having her own walk of fame in her province too. And the orange fringe outfit that she was wearing was a literal hippon girl depiction of Herlene's showbiz persona. So everything here has a story, and when placed together, ties Herlene's background all together nicely. So everything just screamed Herlene here, and nag-enjoy talaga ako sa kapapanood sa kanya as she worked this costume made by Patrick Aisorena and Ibok Pimpino to the best that Herlene could. And now we go to my top 10, and number 10 on my list is Patricia Co's couture costume. You know, another Patricia also makes it in my list, and I super love this Philippine Mariposa butterfly inspired national costume of Patricia Go, as it looked so phenomenal on her. I was really stunned when I saw it on photo, and all the more I was really stunned when I saw it on motion last weekend. Ganun ka-impactful tong costume niya. It really screamed couture na very Michael Cinco and GM Dasta combined, na super bumagay sa striking chinita features niya. Napansin nyo? This costume made by Iran Montoya is really a work of art, and I think Patricia's modelist proportions really defy the silhouette well here. And had this costume been worn by a short girl, it would have definitely overwhelmed her. But since Patricia Go here looks so regal, she was able to carry her costume very well. It's like as if I was watching Patricia walking for a fashion show. And now we go to my 9th spot, and I'm giving it to Elda Aznar's costume. Am I the only one who is really digging Elda's national costume here in Binibining Pilipinas this year? This green-colored national costume, which is inspired by the story of the legend of Mount Apo in her hometown, made Elda look so regal and expensive on the fashion show. And it even made her look so tall on stage given the vertical panel design of her costume, na very, very luxurious tignan dito si Elda. And unang tingin, guys, talaga, akala ko talaga she was wearing a Filipiniana, but as soon as she goes to the middle of the stage, I was all the more stunned with the fabric used for the dress. The way the dress was designed or structured for her, you could feel that her designer Neil Patrick Gimlani really thought about her proportions. The end result, I was just stunned even more with her showmanship, that not even a flower staff as an accessory can distract me from looking at the beauty of her face. And I think after watching her turn here, Elda should really consider wearing green for the finals. Nakaka-enhance na kagandahan niya talaga itong color na to. Napansin ko. And now we go to my 8th spot and I'm giving it to Diana Mackey's enormous costume. You know what? This is another costume that really made me jump out of my seat as I am floored by the enormity of this costume for Diana. Diana apparently chose a costume which truly reflected what her province is known for, which is being the rice capital of our country, Nueva Ecija. And as you can see, the designer pulled out all stops to highlight this, whether through its billowing skirt, which gave me Banawe Rice Terraces feels, with its enormity, and giant headdress naman showcasing the harvest of palays, adding to the grandiosity of this outfit even more. It's just so beautiful to look at, and Diana seemed to enjoy walking on stage. It's really one costume talaga that you can't be missed, and I am glad Diana Maki carried it so well. At my number 7 spot is Josh Di Maculangan's national costume. Oh gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I still can't get enough of Josh Di Maculangan's golden Ibong Adarna inspired costume. When she came out here, I wasn't wowed at first as I had seen this kind of costume for so many occasions in the past already. But when she finally moved to the middle of the stage and flashed her wings, I was stunned at the myriad of colors her designer E.R. Stephen Alvarado employed on this costume. The vibrant colors was apparently in reference to the LGBTQI plus community, and I thought that was such a clever way to highlight her love for the community, helping her in this pageant. But guys, more than the aesthetic part, what I love about Josh's turn here is her execution or performance as she for this costume, as it was really neat. Wala akong mapintas, para siyang Diyosa na carnival queen from Barbados na kayang makipag-fight head-to-head or toe-to-toe with the Latinas in an international competition, diba? Na so fresh from her stellar press presentation 2 weeks ago, and now Josh giving me this kind of performance on stage yet again. She is really peaking at the right time. Nandalamon na talaga si Josh this year. Nagulat ako. And now we go to my 6th spot and I'm giving it to Karen Dory Mendoza's national costume. This is another costume that not only looks good on stills but in motion, guys. Karen just worked this intricate costume with aplomb. For a while, I was worried that this binukot princess costume made by Tata Blas Pinuela would overwhelm her, given how big it is and how this would cover her entire face and how frail Karen's creamy shoulders is. But Karen still made it work with her graceful hand movements on stage. And even the combination of colors, red and yellow, employed for this costume really enhanced Karen's showmanship here, as it made her look more regal as well. Parang sa tingin ko kung ako lang tatanungin niyo, para siyang Thai costume na hindi ko ma-explain when she finally finished presenting herself here. If the costume was highlighting the practice of secluding chosen girls to make them desirable maidens, then in similar fashion, this costume all the more made Karen Lori Mendoza a huge standout in this segment of the competition. And we finally go to my top 5, and number 5 on my list is Kia Moreno's Peña Francia national costume. I am just absolutely stunned with Kia Moreno's Amor Virgen de Peña Francia costume here in Binibining, Pilipinas as well. Kia looks so divine and exquisite in this costume. As in, litaw na litaw yung kagandahan ng mukha niya as the golden glittery veil truly captured her stunning face. Plus the intricate details as well of this costume made by Candy Segovia really made Kia a saint that we could really pray upon na talaga. Na poong Kia, napupunuan ka ng grasya, ganun ang feeling ko. Plus the LED lights and the crown that she was wearing just all the more made her luminous, literally. And I am just in love with this costume. It was screaming authenticity from head to toe. So well done, Kia. And now we go to my top 4, and number 4 on my list is Stacey Gabriel's Taho-inspired national costume. No doubt, this national costume should be part of everyone's top 5 picks. I thought Stacey was such a genius in choosing this Taho concept, as I have never thought she could bring this concept to life with aplomb. When I saw this costume on exhibit 2 weeks ago, the first thing that caught my attention was her lovely face, modeling this lovely creation made by Urgent de la Serna. But when we finally got to see the costume in motion last weekend, I was all the more impressed, not only with the beauty of her face, but with the numerous details that she accessorized her Taho costume with. Ang dami nun eh. Her good morning towel on her head, tapos yung small umbrella to protect her head from the heat of the sun, the Swarovski beaded canisters, the black sago pearls on her shoes, and the piso sa tenga design on her tenga were just brilliant ideas I never thought she could still totally come out with. It's like she made the Taho vendor such a fashionable business to showcase at. Pero siguro guys, if I may have to nitpick though, I wish she could have removed the skirt, as I don't get the significance of it at the back. While the bling bling barong and camisa de chino naman were depicting Filipiniana in her outfit, I still could not connect it with her gladiator heels used here. But overall guys, the concept is so authentic as it is really a costume that is so uniquely ours, or one which can one find only in the Philippines. And now we go to my top 3, and number 3 on my list is Gabriel Paciano's Virgin Mary national costume. By now, guys, it's no surprise that Gabby's national costume should be high in everyone's list, just how groundbreaking and thought-provoking her costume is all about. Gabby's costume is a Virgin Mary-inspired costume depicting the Padulong Festival, which pays homage to the Blessed Virgin Mary in her hometown. In terms of concept, guys, this is a runway winner, as this is the first time a contestant came out on stage literally looking like a painting straight out of an art house or museum. Para siyang lumabas sa painting tong si Gabby. And when you see the costume in photos, guys, it's a hit, as we can see Gabby looking like a Mama Mary on that frame. Aesthetically, it worked, as she really looks like Mama Mary in person with her creamy skin, fair skin. However, when it finally came to the execution on stage, hindi na ganun ka-exciting yung pag-grand reveal. Her panel column legs, which was supposed to look like a painting stand, made her walk so slow that we no longer felt the wow factor the moment she peeked out of the curtains on the golden frame towards the end. I reckon the entire costume must have been so heavy to carry, which prevented her from presenting her costume cohesively. And just like what one follower of mine commented here on my YouTube channel, I wish that the bottom pillars were made of lighter fabric so she could have executed this easily. How I also wish that the back reveal showcasing her province's scenic spot would have been replaced by an all-black fabric as well, to give it a more, or a cleaner touch. But overall, it was really a novel concept, but the execution nga lang, could have been improved. And in my opinion, buti na lang talaga guys, this kind of costume was only showcased on the national level, as I feel this costume might really be polarizing should it end up being worn in an international competition abroad. And as a country with Roman Catholicism dominating 80% of its entire population, I do get the references, but I fear for our fellow kababayans who are non-Catholics and might feel offended by this if ever. And as a potential candidate who could end up representing us abroad, it's important talaga to be mindful of these so you won't be inundated by the negative commentary this might bring you. But nevertheless, I still credit Gabby and her team for pushing the envelope, for pushing the boundaries creatively, so to speak. It is really thought-provoking as it tries to marry religion with fashion and culture. And now we go to my runner-up position, and I'm giving it to Cyril Payuma's national costume. It's no surprise, guys, that this woman really ranks so high here in my list, as she really gave us a show during her turn at the Binibining Pilipinas National Costume Show. When Cyril first came out, the first thing I noticed right away is her hand-painted skirt, and I thought she would walk that stage with those with those graceful hand movements, like how everyone would do on stage. But as she walks down the stage, she suddenly turned around and gave us the biggest reveal of her presentation, which was to detach herself from her hand-painted skirt and started dancing, mimicking the aitas of her home province. Sa totoo lang guys, it was something I did not expect that she would do. And that really gave us the gulat factor that we were craving. And as it turned out, the whole outfit pala was a homage to our ancestral aitas found mostly in her province. And apparently, the skirt I was talking about earlier pala was hand-painted by the aitas as well. So it was really an aita love fest all throughout from beginning to end. But setting aside these beautiful references, I think Cyril has flawless showmanship, which I can attribute to her being a pageant veteran. From the walk, napansin nyo, to the execution, everything was spot on. And if she keeps performing like this, she could really be one of those girls to watch out for in the finals soon. This girl is really peaking at the right time as well. And now we go to my overall winner, which I'm giving it to, no surprise, Graciela Liman's Tikbalang national costume. I believe this is a foregone conclusion already that Graciela wins this segment of the competition with her show-stopping huge tikbalang costume. I mean, is there anyone who can come close to the level of craftsmanship employed for this national costume? This just stuns me, or all of us across the board. The level of craftsmanship, research, and execution are beyond my comprehension right now. Sir Paulo Ballesteros has truly outdone himself again. Ang taba talaga ng utak niya. Like, Sir Paulo is like brimming with so many ideas, and this TV host celebrity made sure it won't end up just like your typical costume worn by Graciela, as he literally made the costume so huge to make such a huge impact on stage. Hence, Graciela literally stood tall as she showcased her costume to the audience. Ang taas ng legs ng costume, and you can visibly see that the hip area of the costume really resembled the disproportionate long limbs of the tikbalang na wow, it's like a tikbalang. It's as if a tikbalang came to life in Kia Theater, and the way Graciela gently pounds her leg to mimic the movement of a tikbalang was just so commendable and well thought out, na para talaga siyang literal na kabayo, at buti na lang may tungkod siya to give her steady support on stage. But what I love about this costume most is how Sir Paulo Ballesteros romanticized the concept of a tikbalang here by employing a white fabric at the back to soften the whole look. Given that, the concept of tikbalang is such a scary feature in Philippine folklore, while with its deformed and humanoid look. While the back portion may somehow remind you of an improved version of Ning Sofida's white elephant design, the whole execution in totality, guys, is really a work of genius. Graciela Liman literally stood tall in this competition and is definitely the runway winner of this segment of the competition. Hands down. So there you go, guys. What do you think about my best national costume list for Binibining Pilipinas this year? Ang dami, no? I really enumerated a lot of girls. Feeling ko kasi grabe, ang daming magagandang costume. So does my list match yours, guys? May nakalimutan ba akong isama? Well, let me know your thoughts down below so we can compare notes on the comment section. Alright, guys. Until my next video. Bye!